What's good, everybody? This is Jay, and this is my Power Book 3, Episode 3 recap for Stick and Move. Now, in this episode, we see that Kanan is dealing with the loss of his best friend, D-Wiz. We see that his mama Rock got a lot going on her plate, trying to get her biz back, and we gonna see how it all unfold. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, bang that bell, subscribe. I need to get to 30K subs, and I can't do it without your help, so please do so. Now let's get into it. When we see this episode start off, we see the boys on the block banging that rock, and next thing you know, we see that one of the dudes peeps that John Shaft is on the move. He jumps out the car, he running in a full-length leather, and he's trying to catch up with this young bull, but he on the move. He inside the damn convenience store already huffing and puffing, but he's still on his ass. And so we see that this dude is motivated to not go to jail, so he running full speed like Carl Lewis while he done lost breath, and he's huffing and puffing inside the laundromat because he all washed up. And this dude ain't got to do nothing but kick the dirt off his J's, smile, and be on his way because he done got away. Meanwhile, Rock getting the brakes beat off that ass and all the dust knocked off that cookie, and she's laying there with a big old smile on her face, and we see that this dude done got washboard abs because he been working hard on that Rock booty, and so she asking him to stay. He's saying he gotta leave, and she tell him she got a computer in the other room, he can stay and do his homework. Meanwhile, Kanan is in his room still reminiscing on D-Wiz when all of a sudden he see this dude with his D on the computer like a whiz, and he asking, who are you? Mama saying, hey, where you at? You supposed to be at school, don't worry about that, that's my friend. And so she checked Kanan and not even explain to her that that was her little man candy. And so we see that Symphony try to explain, I understand, but she said, don't worry, you just keep that thing on hard for me. So she take Kanan to school, and while they inside the car, she peeped that he got the R.I.P. D-Wiz on his Air One. So she say, I know you salty about your boy, but you got to stay focused on school. Meanwhile, we see that Captain Sulu is sitting here and he's chastising John Shaft and partner, and so he's asking him what's going on. You ain't had no bus, what's going on with this stuff? And he telling him, hey, we trying. Meanwhile, we see that the crew is sitting there and they talking about their next move, and she's trying to figure out how they gonna get their corners back and what's the next move to do. Meanwhile, Marvin is left out as always. They ain't really filling in Marvin about the business as much as they should, and so she goes inside to talk with the boss, the man that's got the supply. He got Pootie Tang as his bodyguard, and so he's talking to Rock, and he's telling her that, hey, I need everything to be smooth. I don't want y'all beefing. I don't want any, drama. Let's keep this operation running smooth. And so she's saying that she want to get back in, and he, had her, faucet cut off because she ain't had the water bill paid. Now we see that she goes and talks with Pootie Tang and tell her that, I got some money for you if you go on and got something for me. Later we see that the doctor is telling John Shaft over here, Omar Epps, that he got cancer and it ain't looking good. He need to contact some family members, try to get some bone marrow transplant, and he's looking at her like, really? I ain't got time for that. I gotta go to work. My family ain't really about to holler at me. We ain't that close. It's time for me to roll. Meanwhile, we see Jukebox at the mall, and she's sitting there with Madonna having fun. She in her material world with the material girl, and all of a sudden they see this little music box, and she said, come on, let's go and sing this song. You playing my tune. I'm gonna make you hit some high notes, girl. Meanwhile, we see John Shaft hop in the car, and he's talking with the partner, and he tells her, yeah, doctor said I got the prostate of a 20-year-old. And she's like, yeah, okay, well, we need to make this move. And he said, look, you need to relax, because she's upset that he ain't been filling her in. He said, we all know that you only in this because your family, and you should be a nurse, and everybody know you don't belong, and I'm the one that's the reckoning of the streets. Everybody fear me. Everybody know I hold shit down. Meanwhile, we see back at the mall that they trying to get a song together. They gonna do a duet like they want to do in private, but Jukebox is, little shy. She doesn't know what to do. And Madonna picks a song. Next thing you know, they on stage. Jukebox barely opening her mouth. She real tight-lipped. And, you know, Madonna know how to get them lips open, if you know what I mean. So next thing you know, they singing. And Jukebox is coming out of her shell. Madonna got her singing nice. They're hitting them high notes. Do, do, do. And next thing you know, we see Marv coming with Lil Bow Wow. And so he brings the dog over there to Tony, and she's like, oh, my knight in shining armor. And he's saying, hey, well, I mean, I've tried. She say, yeah, you really like me, don't you? Yeah, last time I saw you, you was handling business for me. I like that. And this dog is cute. You act to be all hard and stuff, but you really is mushy. I bet I could make something that you normally have hard real nice and mushy. And he's looking like, I don't know. Next thing you know, she's shaking hands with the champ down low. And so he didn't know what to say. And so she gets on low. And next thing you know, she's speaking into the microphone and he hitting that do. Meanwhile, at the Rock House, we see Kanan sitting there playing video games, and his boy is sitting there telling him how he done left John Shaft in the dust when all of a sudden he gets a beep on the beeper, and so he got to check that out. Meanwhile, Madonna and, Juke is sitting there laughing, saying they're going to have a good time 20 years looking at the tape. And she said, I want to spend more time with you. I want to come to your place. Let me see what it's like in Queens. And she said, no, you ain't coming to America, girl. We going to have to wait. And she said, come on, I want to be with you. She said, no, I enjoy being with you here. Let's keep it that way. And Jukebox leave. Meanwhile, we see Kanan outside. And all of a sudden, we see that Davina's pushing this baby stroller walking through the hood. So he about to run out, and although Scrappy tell him chill, don't go out there, he goes out anyway. And so he's talking to her, asking her how she's doing, and she asking him, what you doing over here? That look like a crack house. He said, no, that's like a little honeycomb hideout, baby. You know what I'm saying? We playing video games. What's up with that drill, though, Wes? What's up with that? She said, well, Pampers don't buy themselves, and it's my dad's tools. We got to do what we got to do. And so he's realizing that, hey, when he took out $120, he took out a lot of her money and food supply. So we see later that his mama is sitting there talking with Pootie Tang, and she's asking him what's the next location and drop in time for Unique Stash. And she's saying, hey, look, I got enough money right here. You can talk to it and take your mistress and your wife out of town and your family and start over. And so next thing you know, we see Pootie Tang got real tight-lipped thinking about it. Meanwhile, we see Jukebox that got a page from her crew, and these guys is unloading boxes and stuff. And so she's asking them, what's up? Who put this plan together? They say, whoever make the call, we all fall. And so they go in there and they robbing labels. They on that low life, polo life. All of a sudden, we see Luis try to grab one. Hey, hold on. What you doing here, man? You can't take it, the polo. And all of a sudden, he getting the boogers kicked out of him. He playing that new play called Stomp. And Jukebox tries to stop the little dude. She tell him, you better stop. Pull out the box cutter. Say you done went too far. She about to cut him open like a box of polo. Meanwhile, Luis, it's a wrong day. Go to work. Meanwhile, we see that Rock is talking to John Shaft, and she telling him, hey, look, what's up? I got this information for you. I want to report a crime. How Neek's stick tastes better than yours. She say, well, look, I got to report a crime. I know where Neek's time and drop and location is. Do your damn job. Handle that. And so he already under pressure from his captain Sulu to make a bust. Meanwhile, we see I'll Be Sure Camacho is in here producing some hits when all of a sudden Lulu and his little man Squeeze roll up, and Camacho got eyes for her real quick, and she's saying, yeah, I know you. Yeah, you make hits. You know all about talent. He's like, yeah. Lulu bring off a bag of powdered sugar for him, so he getting ready to glaze his donut when he looking at all the little equipment, and he's asking him, hey, what's this? What's that? This what's up? And so he like, yeah, that's what's up. And she's realizing that Lulu got an eye for the equipment, and she start talking to Camacho about her brother and talent, and he's all into it. Meanwhile, we see that Marvin is going all through Jukebox room, tossing it like he was 5-0, when all of a sudden Kanan walk in and say, "What's up? What you looking for? What you doing?" And it threw him off guard. He like, "Wait a minute, what you doing in here? And what the hell you mean what I'm looking for? This is my house. How you get in here?" And he told him he had a key. He said, "Man, give me that damn key back." And so then they start conversating, and Kanan talk him into helping him at the game. So he throw him a little bag of blow, and Kanan and them saying, "Well, I'm gonna help you with my mom's and make sure she listen to me and help you out." So they think they got a little partnership going, but he tell him, "Make sure you don't tell Rock I told you I helped you with none of this." Meanwhile, we see Rock is in his room. They both tossing each other's rooms of the kids, and Jukebox walk in, and so she say, "Hey girl, what's up?" And she asks, "Cause she leave this bag of clothes there." Next thing you know, they have a little girl bonding. They both tell each other they got somebody they care about in their life getting the brakes beat off that cookie. Meanwhile, we see that Lulu leave, and his main squeeze is sitting here telling him that she could tell he got talent and he could do everything Camacho can do, and he need to get into the game. And he's saying, "How you know what I can do?" And she's saying, "Because I know Italian, and I know that you can do it if you want to. I mean, I believe in you. Give me a kiss, man. You are the best, Lulu." And so we see also Detective Sulu is finally getting a little information from Shaft, and he's saying, "So, you sure about this information about this bus? I can't bring in too many people, because if it goes left, you're going to have me looking stupid. What's up, new guy?" And she say, I'm a back Detective Shaft on whatever he wants. I believe in him." And that throws Howard off, Howard Shaft, because he didn't know that she had his back. Meanwhile, they about to go make their moves and sell their merch. She about to sell her stolen clothes. He about to sell his bag of blow. He's supposed to have Famous on his side, but Famous peeped the dudes rapping in the park, and he say he about to go ahead and get his rap on, go on and handle that. And so, he's saying, "Man, I knew he wasn't about this life. That's what D-Wiz was all about." She said, "Yeah, I know. Here's the deal. You need to find you some white people, and you need to sell it for more, because they used to paying more for everything." He's saying, "Man, what you mean? No, I don't know if I can do that." She said, "You know what? Do what you want to do." Meanwhile, we see that Rock is getting the dust knocked off that cookie, boy, all on the floor. Symphony done getting a workout, and so he asking her, "What's up? What you like about me?" And she said, "I could ask you the same, but what I like about you is you a breath of fresh air. You like a vacation. What you doing? What you like about me?" He said, "Well, you strong and independent, and I mean, you get what you want. I like that." And so she's sitting here thinking about it like, "Yeah, okay, well, I like you too, Symphony, and trust me, I'm here because I want to be." Meanwhile, we see that Famous is in the park dropping a little one-liners, and she's trying to sell her merch when cutting out people that think that they're just trying to get a deal, telling them, "Get out of here, cops." And then Kanan see this one skateboard punk, and he telling them that he got it for 40, and then he tell him 35, and he's like, "Really? That's a good price. Give me 2 for 50. And he give it to him. And that right there, you see that right there, that's how it all start, right there, getting money. And now you in the game. And he's flicking a little bit of cash back and forth with Juke like he done made big money. Meanwhile, we see Rock, and she's sitting here talking with her new boo, and she's telling him, "Hey, don't worry about anything. I want to be with you. I like you. You a breath of fresh air. Don't worry about what's going on with me and Kanan." And so we see he's a little sensitive. Later that night, we see the Rock boys waiting to make that drop. And it's not Rock's boys, but Rock Cocaine boys. And they listening to music, and he's like, "Hold on, keep that Paula Abdul, man. I love that Egyptian ass. Nice wide hips, big flat pancake booty. Sweet." Meanwhile, they don't realize they under surveillance, and they're telling them, "Hey, look, man, we about to get this bus. It might go left, so keep your head on a swivel." And then they see that the van is getting fogged up. He tell them to turn the AC on, with your hot breath fogging up the van. Meanwhile, we see that Kanan then went and bought some groceries, so he done brought her some groceries, told her, "Maybe you can keep the tools now that I'm bringing home the bacon." why don't you let me get, some sausage on your plate? Next thing you know, he leaned in for a little smoocheroo. Meanwhile, we see they going to make the exchange. They done drove around the block 4 times to look out, and we see that Cracula is getting his little tweak on in the middle of the night, sucking on that glass stick. And so while he getting beamed up to Scotty, they checking on the merch, making sure everything is kosher. And Cracula, next thing you know, starts to pick up on them vibes, man. Them vibes. And he realizes that his cracky senses was tingling. He don't got spidey senses. He got cracky senses. And he realizes that's 5-0 with that hot breath. And next thing you know, Cracula was on the move, running like it was no tomorrow, like a runaway slave. And next thing you know, we see that everybody pull off, and now the chase, the heat is on. And so we see John Shaft chasing the, crack crew down the street. They get T-boned by the NYPD. And next thing you know, they laid out like a New York strip steak, and they all out of the game. They busted. He jump out with the guns blazing, jump out the little RoboCop Ford Taurus, and it's a wrap. So we see the next day that the bus went smooth because they sitting there in the candy apple red Benz, and they realize Unique's corners is dry. Marvin and Lulu, and Unique pulls up wondering why ain't nobody at work today, and now he sees they silly ass sitting there with the little red lips and red car, and he gives him the mean mug, realizing that they must have had something to do with it, otherwise why are they on his block? And they go ahead and give a little stare down. Now we see Rock is trying to help Kanan feel better, but it's in the disguise of trying to go and console D-Wiz mama, saying, can we sit with you for D-Wiz, missing? And so she bring a little food, she holding her hands, and Kanan got a tear rolling down, the mama breaking down crying, and we see that the whole time Rock is trying to console her, but at the same time she trying to put a little hand on Kanan because he crying and real hurt, and she trying to get him to get over the loss of D-Wiz, because as a mother she'd rather it be this woman than her. And Kanan, I think, has a little idea that Rock had something to do with it, but not really. Now it's time for some real talk. This episode was pretty good. It was more of a filler episode. What I mean by that is it was just filling in more details about the characters and just more character development. It wasn't really too much action other than, Luis getting his face kicked in over some damn polo. But we see that all of this was just a little more character development. We see that Madonna and Jukebox really do like each other, and it seems that everybody got a little secret boo that they on vacation with, except for Kanan. And I think eventually by Davina knowing that he's in that crack house is going to eventually lead to trouble for him. And now he's got his feet wet and he's trying to sell dope. He done made his first $50. He think he balling now, and it's never stopped, as we all know, because he was always in the game. And we see that now that he done got his feet wet and got off the porch, so to speak, he thinks that is no turning back. But we'll see what happens with him dealing with Marvin, because we all know Marvin wasn't the most sophisticated. And now that, speaking of Marvin, now that he got a little, Snow White on his side, we'll see if she gets him a little powder sugar to go with that cane that she was holding, and we'll see if he's able to hang on, because I think in the end he may eventually start to be with her and try to take control of the club and take control of her, and we'll see if that works out with Rock and what she's trying to do. So in the end, we'll see how it all plays out with that. Lulu looks like he want to be Lulu from Lucius Line from Empire, man. Hey, this is how it gets started, man. I'm about to run the Empire, man. I'm about to start that music biz, man. This is Lulu, Lucius Line, man. This is the beginning. This is how I transform, man. I'm in my mode, man. They used to call me DJ, man. Who in charge? You in charge. Who in charge? You in charge, Lulu. That's what's about to happen. I think it is going to be a little Empire type situation, but they're not going to play the music and similar to Empire. And I think that it does have some roots a little bit in reality with how rappers in the dope game and all of that kind of intertwined, especially back in that time period. And I think that's going to end up being something that's going to mess with Rock's organization, because Lulu is her most trusted soldier. And if he ends up trying to get out the game to get into the music biz, maybe she may want to take out his main squeeze so that he can focus on work. And we see, speaking of main squeezes, that she was kind of bogus on how she had Symphony in his drawers like Al Bundy on the computer. And when Kanan saw that, that's his first way of meeting him, is that, yeah, instead of breakfast in the morning, that mama had a full plate of sausage in the morning and didn't let him know who it was delivering the sausage or the bacon, and then flipped on him for not being in school when she was the one that was getting schooled all night long, all night. And so we'll see what happens with Symphony. At first I thought he was a cop, but it's starting to seem like maybe he's not a cop, because he really is laying that pipe. He might be a plumber, and so we'll see how it go. I might have to call him Super Mario. And what's going on with Malcolm Howard? This dude has cancer, but yet and still he's still running around trying to be super cop Jackie Chan, and I don't think it's gonna work, because this dude couldn't even run around inside the damn bodega. He couldn't make it past aisle 3, and he got on his church shoes, let alone a full-length leather. I don't think he about to make it, especially chasing no young dudes that's got the threat of going to jail. And he needs to try to get in with his family, get some bone marrow transplant, and take a vacation. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what he think is gonna happen, like he gonna end crime in New York or in that neighborhood. Crime will never end. So take your ass home, get you a break, get some rest, get you a life, and get your ass off them streets. And last but not least, Kane and Davina, we'll see what happens. I think he really, like I said at first, wanted to kill $120 for her so he can get in, and now I think he realizing that she high maintenance, not necessarily because she bougie, but because she needs a lot. And I think that's what got him in the game as well, motivated to make money so that he could do stuff for her. So it seems that his love and care for this girl got him to do his first murder, and now it's got him motivated to get into the dope game. And we'll see what happens. I know a lot of people say that she's Sean's mama. She is not Sean's mama. There's two totally different people. Sean wouldn't be born for at least another 5 to 6 years if the Sean age matches up with the show. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if she's gonna live through the rest of this season, but she has a lot going on. She always around pushing that baby stroller through the hood, and it's a damn shame. She said that her sister already don't trust her mama. Her mama might, smoke some baby food or something. Who knows? So we'll see what happens. In the end, I'm interested to see the next episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. And Crack don't play, baby. I mean, Crackula had them vibes, man. He picked up on the cops. He knew about Paula Abdul. I mean, Crackula, boy, just the black Crackula in the hood. I mean, this dude could do everything from work on a car to test out the rocks. He's a rock star. That's how he knew about Paula, because, I mean, he a crack rock star. So he know all about this stuff. And Crackula, man, he could run 100 miles and running, let alone never get caught by the cops. I mean, he disappeared. Them cracky senses was tingling, and lucky for him that those dudes almost got away, because if it wasn't, they would have all got busted right then and there. I mean, they probably ended up in the hospital or dead from getting T-boned like a steak from Longhorn. But anyway, we'll see what happens. They wasn't that important. And I think that Marvin and Lulu made a huge mistake going over there and sitting and parking when they was trying to see if Unique's corners was dry. They should have just rolled over there, saw that it was dry, kept it moving, never parked. There was no need to park. It wasn't nothing happening. They just wanted to sit there in that big red ass Benz and let everybody know that they had something to do with it, as well as Rock paying Pootie Tang to give up that information. I think it's gonna backfire. So in the end, this episode had a lot going on, but it wasn't the sexy fighting, action, shooting up stuff. It was more of the thinking man stuff going on. So some people may not like that or have appreciation for that, whereas some people may have appreciation for seeing how the game is played like chess, not checkers. And I think that this was a good episode. I enjoyed it, and we'll see how it all plays out. Jukebox, everybody, we got to learn a little bit more about him. She knows more about the dope game than Kanan. She was telling him what to do, but she don't want to do anything that Marvin does. So that's why she steals clothes and sells it and does other stuff so that she can be separate from whatever he got going on, which is understandable. So in the end, we'll see how this all played out. Please, if you enjoyed this review, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 30K subs, and it's been a hell of a journey, and I appreciate your support. Hit that like. Catch me every Friday and Sunday talking about the show, and I'll see y'all then. Peace, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit that like, subscribe, bang that bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.